The Mutilated Memory is a psychological horror found footage film about a man named David who wakes up in a hospital with no memory of the past 11 years of his life. All he can remember are fragments of a life well lived. He can remember a wife, but he can't remember her face. He can remember a daughter, but he can't remember what she looks like. All he has to go on are these photo albums filled with pictures of people and places that he doesn't recognize. After being discharged from the hospital, David goes to his house, but it's in foreclosure. He has no one to turn to, so he decides to take a road trip to find his brother. On the way, he stops at a diner to use the phone. While he's talking to his brother on the phone, we can see that David is clearly agitated. He's sweating profusely and he's having trouble breathing. His brother tells him to go to a specific address in Chicago and that he'll explain everything when he gets there. When he arrives at the address, it's clear that this is not his brother's house. It's actually the house where David grew up. And the person who answers the door is his sister. She's just as surprised to see him as everyone else. And she tells him that she hasn't seen their brother in years. David is clearly not getting the answers that he was hoping for, but he does get an old photo album that belonged to his father. As he flips through the album, we can see that the photos are starting to affect him in a very strong way. He becomes overwhelmed with emotion and he begins to scream at the top of his lungs. The film ends with David standing in the middle of a cornfield screaming for help. The audio is distorted, the visuals are corrupted, and we can hear him getting more and more hysterical as the camera drops to the ground and the screen cuts to black. Mutilated Memory is a found footage film that was shot on a shoestring budget. However, it's quite effective in building suspense and creating a sense of dread. The film's use of jump scares is minimal, which is a nice change of pace from other found footage films. Instead, the film relies on atmosphere and sound design to create its scares. The film also has a strong sense of mystery that keeps the viewer engaged. We're never quite sure what's going on or why David is being hunted, but we're just scared enough to want to keep watching. The film's ending is also quite satisfying. It's not the ending that I was expecting, but it's definitely a memorable one. If you're a fan of psychological horror films like The Silence of the Lambs or The Machinist, then you'll definitely want to check out Mutilated Memory. Just be prepared for a wild ride.